Hello, everyone. Welcome to Developing Palettes. I'm Aaron Loomis coming to you from the Drew Estate Studio. With me today is Seth Geis, and from the Bastani Studio, John McTavish. How you guys doing?
Doing well, man. Doing
Doing
well.
well.
Doing well. Canadian team in the Stanley Cup Finals. Maybe we'll bring Lord Stanley Cup home, but probably not.
God, don't you? God, it's one of these things too. Like you look at the trophy and you're like, where does that belong? Edmonton, or do you want to take it down to fucking Florida? Like, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, nothing against Florida, but that's Florida.
Oh yeah, I have something against Florida taking the cup. That's just offensive.
Fucking, I know. I love Kachuk though. Anyways, Blackbird. Do we show a photo of this?
Not yet. Here
Super
we go.
bird.
So today we're talking about the Blackbird Superb Toro. Cigar is 6" by 52. Comes out of the Blackbird Dominicana
Nice
factory
looking
in
wrapper.
the Dominican Republic. Uh, Wrappers Ecuador and Habano by filler are both undisclosed. Price point is $10.72. And the cigar was released in February of 2024. So with all that out of the way, Seth, what was your overall experience like with this cigar?
Yeah, it was really average. Red pepper, black pepper. I got some tobacco and cedar. Really easy draw. Just kind of a lack of. I thought you were taking a photo of me there for a second, John. I don't know what that was. Lack of complexities. Medium strength and body. Yeah, it's just kind of that same profile, pretty average throughout. Decent burn, decent draw. Um, yeah, the packaging's kind of pretty cool on it, but that's about the highlight of it. So, John?
I thought it had a good first third. Kind of start out with creamy earth, baking spices, kind of at the medium mark. So a little more intense than I think some of the cigars we've been smoking lately. Wooden earth in the post draw, a little bready sweetness in the retro, chocolate and raisin. Nice start for me. Kind of that sort of darker flavor profile, but tasty. A little bit of tannic wood in the bottom half of that first third, and then second third kind of took a step down in intensity. So everything kind of light plus, sweet tobacco, wood center, a little bit of chocolate and bread, but that didn't really come into the bottom half of the second third, and there was a little bit of tannic wood mixed in there. So bit of a step down in complexity. And then last third kind of started off with tobacco, spices, medium minus earth ish, kind of lingering on the palate post draw. And then the spices and earth kind of combined to move into the center of the profile, moving up to medium strength as it continued. So that earth kind of became a lot more dominant in that last third. So overall, maybe above average, slightly above average. Construction was on point. Burn, slightly uneven, but corrected itself, and then really no issues at all. Draw was slightly to the open spectrum, but well within the sort of criteria of a perfect draw. So all in all, not bad. Aaron, what about you?
Yeah, for me, the cigar started with toasted cedar and some crushed red pepper. I got some light coffee that joined in pretty quickly, and then the crushed red pepper transitioned to a lightly dull black pepper. Then some chalkiness joined a bit later. Second third saw the coffee note disappear, and then some earth joined the profile. And then the final third saw the black pepper depart. Construction is absolutely perfect on the cigar for me, so no issues there. But overall, the cigars had an average flavor profile throughout. Past the first third, the profile was pretty mundane, just kind of focused around the toasted cedar, chalkiness, and earth. Really nothing here to grab my attention, and kind of, not something I'm going to really see myself coming back to. All right, let's get into the scores. We're going to start at the top with John at 6.1. I gave it a 5.75, and Seth gave it a 5.25. So, John, how that 6.1 match up for you?
Yeah, that's a fair representation of my experience. Slightly above average flavor profile of perfect construction. That's how you get to like 661, and that lines up exactly right.
My 5.75 matches up well as well. Average flavor profile throughout with that perfect construction, so kind of gets into those high fives, but yeah, just not enough going on with the flavor profile to make me want to come back. Seth, 5.25.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing that really made me want to come back to it. The flavor profile was just pretty lacking. I mean, decent burn and draw, but there wasn't really anything going on for me on that one.
Final thoughts from you guys on this one?
This is
Um,
these were the Macau people, right?
Yes.
It's
yeah,
funky. It's pretty cool packaging. It kind of reminds
it is
me of
cool packaging.
There's like little Drew State quality, but if I remember when he did like Zeno did some funky like street thing with a spray paint
Yeah, the New York
years
series
ago.
or something like that. Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of that. So I just wish the blend was a little bit more like popping.
Yeah.
It's cool packaging otherwise.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of because I think we've seen, I don't want to say dull, but like we really haven't seen a lot of innovation in cigar banding and packaging. Like it's all kind of been the same. And so I like the idea of having a band that's extremely recognizable with its motif and is very clear with the font as to exactly what cigar that is. So when I reach into the humidor, like there's no question about, what cigar that was. And there's something to be said about that. I mean, especially for a startup brand or, well, I mean, a startup brand, but like a newer brand. It's kind of cool. So, I hope they continue to work it and maybe I'll really dig the next thing that comes up.
Yeah, and it's interesting, all bird themed portfolio, right? And I had to look this up because I didn't know what a superb how superb related to birds, right? But apparently it's a bird of paradise. So I was unaware
Superb is a bird of paradise?
How superb tied into birds. So
man, I love birds and I didn't even know that.
Yeah. So.
It's actually kind of sad if you think about it that they weren't able to get Mike Tyson because that would have been the perfect landing spot for Mike
pigeons.
Tyson because Mike Tyson likes birds, man.
Oh, these are the birds that do that funky little dance thing. Have you seen these? The black and blue ones? Have you ever checked these out?
Yeah.
I didn't know that this was this bird. Man, that would have increased my cigar review rating.
At least a half a point right there, man.
Yeah, that's a half a point, man. That's a cool fucking bird, man.
Yeah, I mean, so it's you're never gonna run out of birds, right? So
yeah, it turns out there's because I've been playing this bird game both on a board game and computer, and I thought I knew birds in Canada, and it's like, man, there's some like I'm starting to get into it. I'm like, here's they say whatever bird and like this bird, and they give you a little bird fact. I'm like, that's kind of cool. And I think I've gone through like 160 birds, and I've barely scratched the surface.
So this is completely off topic, but it's kind of on topic. There was a movie with Steve Martin. I'm trying to remember. It was the best year, the greatest year, where it's like it's a bird watching thing where like if you spot a certain number of birds, like there's like a list.
There's a guy.
Catch all of them in a calendar or in like in a year. I don't know if it's got to be a calendar year or just consecutive 12 months, but you complete this.
It's a 12-month bird watch thing.
Yeah.
He's in it. Owen Wilson's in it.
Yep. That's I couldn't remember if it was Martin Short or Owen Wilson. Yeah, somebody was in it, but yeah, it was an interesting movie. But so if you have any interest in birds or a little bit of comedy, I'd say check it out. So, all right. Wherever you catch this video, be sure to like and subscribe, but check out the full written review on the website, developmentpalace.com. Follow us on the social media channels, and you can catch all of our review recaps on podcasts, iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thanks for tuning in. We will catch you on the next one.